We share everything. No secrets between us.
You want to share everything with me, too.
So Rock at this moment is very ambitious, maybe a bit too ambitious. Not only did we see her expanding into the Italians' turf, but we saw her refusing to make peace, or should we say, pay the toll. And no doubt, this will result in consequences. Lou knows it, and I think Marvin does too. But Marvin's Marvin, and he's not scared of anyone, and we're yet to see this violent side to Marvin in Season 2, but I guess that's where the Italians come in. And it really is going to get a lot more action-packed in these last 5, now that the Italians have been introduced, because as Lou said, when they come, they're going to come for all of them. And they may have followed Rock and Kanan to the Catskills, but the irony of Rock telling Kanan they should share everything and not have any secrets between them really makes you wonder, how can she still lie even though she saw Kanan entering Detective Howard's house at the end of episode 4? But we're going to run through all things episode 5, breaking down the trailer scene by scene. And I've also got some extra scenes from the official trailer which matches up with episode 5, so we're going to run through those as well. Now the title is What Happens in the Catskills, and the synopsis reads, Rock focuses on mother and son bonding in the Catskills, but they're interrupted when business follows them. Crown disrespects Lou, bringing their simmering beef to a boil, while we have Detective Burke digging into Howard's personal life. Now, I'm sure we've all heard the phrase, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And that's the general gist I get from episode 5's title, what happens in the Catskills stays in the Catskills, because there is going to be a death. But why are Rock and Kanan out in the Catskills? Now Rock saw Kanan going to Detective Howard's house at the end of episode 4, and she knows slowly her son is slipping away, because Howard's finally told him who he is. And now Kanan's been looking for answers himself. But not only has Kanan been looking for answers with Vernon Stark, he's hiding shit from Rock, and now he's questioning her.
Ma, why did you want me to kill that cop? You told me it was because he was crazy and all that. That ain't enough. Not to me.
So out in the Catskills is where Rock will try and build this bond back up with Kanan. They were really close in season 1, but this season they're the complete opposite, and I think Rock is to blame for most of it. She's way too busy expanding her organization, which means she takes one eye off Kanan, but when she's got full focus on Kanan, she takes one eye off her empire, and Unique was right with what he told Rock in season 1.
Cause you see in this shit, can't give a fuck about nobody, nothing, more than your business.
So the question is, how does Rock keep an eye on Kanan and also keep an eye on her empire? And I think this is where she combines both and brings Kanan fully on board. But it is also a risky game, because Lou warned the Italians are gonna come for them, and it does seem like they may have followed Rock and Kanan based on the synopsis anyway. Now Kanan meets a girl which will no doubt lead to trouble, and forcing Rock's hand in having to take someone out, who could very well be one of Sal Buscemi's men, or maybe someone random, but based on the synopsis, he probably is Italian. And we see Kanan and Rock burying the body out in the woods, and Kanan having to get his hands dirty, and slowly coming to the realization who his mother really is. She wants no secrets between them, and Kanan's the same, but what really is ironic about this scene is they're both keeping secrets. But can we expect Rock to fully come clean about Detective Howard? Eventually she will have to, but I do think she's going to try and bury it for a little longer. And I do think the paternity results is what will fully put any doubt that Kanan has to bed. But let's see what comes from him going to Howard's at the end of episode 4. Now just before we move on to all things Marvin, Lou and Unique, this is another scene from the official trailer, which I expect to be in episode 5, based on what Rock's wearing. Now in season 1, we saw Rock being stopped by Detective Howard, but I'm not sure this is Detective Howard this time. We haven't seen him get back to work with the NYPD, and with the synopsis telling us Burke is digging into Howard's personal life, I think this could be Detective Burke. Burke is someone who showed in season 1 she ain't scared, and she's also ambitious in terms of her career. So with her paying a visit to Unique in episode 4, I think we may see her pay a visit to Rock in episode 5. And she is someone who I think will uncover the truth about Kanan being the shooter and also Howard's son. If not, she's gonna get very close, and when she does, Howard will have a choice to make, or maybe Rock, who knows. But Burke is someone who I can see dying in season 2. But let's talk all things Lou and Crown, because this is a relationship that's been at boiling point for a while. You've got Lou who forced his way into owning half of Bulletproof Records, Crown's secret relationship with Jessica, finding her a job in LA, making shady moves behind Lou's back by selling the mixing board, amongst a lot of other reasons Crown giving Lou to hate him. And Crown was warned.
You just don't want to see me agitated, alright?
So we're gonna see Crown and Lou started to take a real turn, with Lou laying one on Crown and telling him just because you make gangster music, it doesn't make you a gangster, with Crown drawing a piece on Lou. And this ain't gonna end well for Crown, especially because I think he's the one who's given Juke's song to Ziza to remix. And then we're gonna see shit really hit the fan, because not only will Lou be pissed, but this was a song that was dedicated to Nicole. So I think Crown really is treading on thin ice when it comes to both Lou and Juke. And where we talk about Rock's power moves with Marvin, High Post and Defcon, her working with Crown to push Lou out is definitely another. Now another relationship which isn't in great shape is Marvin and Juke. Now we saw Juke connecting with Kenya in episode 4 and still refusing to forgive Marvin, even though he redecorated Juke's room after understanding what she loves, music. But we saw Juke looking through the window, possibly at Marvin, and refusing to talk to him again. And even though Marvin was in the wrong with putting his hands on Juke in season 1, I do sit in a position where I am starting to feel a little sorry for Marvin. He knows he fucked up, and now he's trying to make things right. So we're gonna see him reach out to Renee and open up about how he has a daughter, but how she won't speak to him. And I do think it is actually time they sat down and he apologized, because it's all good trying to make an effort, but he still hasn't said sorry for physically abusing Juke. And I do hope they can fix this relationship, but it doesn't look good, especially with Kenya now in the picture. Now Renee could also be a love interest for Marvin, because there was a little flirtation in episode 3, but we also know Marvin doesn't tie himself down to women. But who knows, let's see where this goes, especially because Marvin is showing a lot more layers this season. Now elsewhere, even though we didn't see anything of Unique in the trailer, I do think it's worth discussing with where we are with his character and where he's heading into episode 5, especially off the back of Worrell siding with Unique. Now Unique has eyes and ears in Rock's organization, but not only that, he's also got an alliance with Marco and the Italians, and he really is making some chess moves behind the scenes, and I think they're going to remain quiet for a bit longer, because we all know he wants revenge and to take back what's his, but he's still got a long way to go. But either way, I do think he's in the driving seat to end season 2 on top. It's just whether or not Rock gets her shit in order and her mind in check, and realizing Worrell is a snake. But that's a breakdown of episode 5's trailer with a few extra scenes. And the major talking point is Rock and Kanan, because where the relationships are at boiling point, like Lou and Crown, eventually we're gonna see Rock and Kanan's come to boiling point as well. Because the more Rock lies, the more Kanan will start to resent her. So drop all your thoughts and predictions down below for episode 5. And of course, if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, then remember to smash the subscribe button if you want to see everything Power Book 3 and Power Universe related. But as always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.